And because of my experience in life, I can tell when people just are not happy in their situation. I can tell when they're just drinking for their emotions, like trying to block it out. I'm like, why does this look like this interpretation? And so for me, at that moment, I realized that I was using substance, abusing substance. Not Keisha. Not Keisha. But
I thought I liked her.
Yeah, that was my A1 since day one. Or whatever we be saying, you know. I was having my way. How dare you inconvenience me?
4 whole days of peace.
This is an inconvenience.
And the 5th day.
This is diabolical. How dare you? I'm a commissioned officer. And so that was a career slope.
Excuse me, ma'am. Hey you guys, welcome to another episode of Insider Threat. I'm your host, Gravy, and today's episode is titled Factory Reset. I have here with me today Sharell Waters. How you doing today?
Hey y'all. I am good. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm making it.
We like that.
So guys, today we're going to be going over Sharell's moment where she had a factory reset, and that factory reset will pretty much is a time where you felt like dang, I need a change, right? Something different has got to happen. Something different has got to take place. So,
girl, that happens all the time. All the time.
I love it. But Sharell, before we get started over here, we like to get things popping off with a little segment called Say I.
I've been watching, so I already knew this was coming.
See, support. The support is real. So, you know, we can't start off without you saying, so you as the guest get a choice between a joke, a quote, or your biggest fear. What's it going to be?
I can't do a joke. I'm listening to that. I cannot do a joke.
I think you can.
Y'all gonna be like, what?
I think you can.
I'm gonna do a quote. I'm gonna do my favorite. I'm actually gonna do 2 quotes because one goes with that topic. And then I got my favorite quote, which my favorite quote is face defeat but remain undefeated. Ooh. And I actually got it tatted on the back of my neck, like an undefeated symbol. And that's my reminder to like go through life, but don't let life like make you crumble. Right, you know what I'm saying? Go through it, but grow through it. Don't let it defeat you or whatever. And then another quote that I used to love back in like 2020 to 2023 era when I was really resetting was disconnect to reconnect. Okay. And so it kind of just goes with what we were saying like earlier about, well, not earlier here, but obviously I've been watching.
Come on.
But just disconnecting from the internet and all those things, like disconnecting from what you know to kind of re-own in and just kind of recenter yourself and refocus. So
I love that.
To me, I feel like that was more fitting for today.
And I can relate to that because I'm always isolating myself. I'm like, okay, I need a little break.
It's necessary. Yeah. It is so, I love isolation. I love isolation.
What?
Like literally just told my boss, I was like, it was a day before I was supposed to go and leave. Yeah. He was like, you in the office? I said, no, I need to isolate.
I'm where? Am I where?
I was like, listen, I'm behind on my tasks. I'm working from home. I need to isolate myself. Yeah. And he was like, okay. I did it real political. I made it sound real good. Like, I'm getting out of this and this and this. But the whole thing was me. I need to isolate myself outside the office so I'm not so succumb to everything that's going on with all these changes and stuff. So it's like, let me take a step back, realign. So now when I go on leave, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to play catch up and all that and go back to work looking crazy and, all over the place. So
I love the fact that the proof is definitely in the pudding with you because she about to run down her resume just a little brief because I need y'all to know.
Lord.
The proof is in the come on.
Goodness.
Over the past because I've been keeping up. So I'm going but I wanna be all encompassing. That's why I'm like trying to see how much time. So over the past no, you're not. So over the past I say 2 years.
Okay.
I feel like that's a good point.
2023.
Like,
yes.
You
got it.
Over the from the 2023 till now, tell the people what you've been up to.
Wow. Okay. So I would say the last 2 years has definitely been life changing for me for sure. So at that time I was actually changing career paths. The same career, but I went from I am military, active duty military. And so I was previously enlisted. And that's where we met at, which they didn't know, but now y'all know.
Come on.
We met at our first duty station. And so with the last 2 years, I changed from being enlisted staff sergeant to a commissioned officer. And so that was a career slope.
Excuse me, ma'am.
But so I think through that transitioning my career, I had to realize that my surrounding was no longer fitting to who I was becoming.
Wow.
And so during that time, I did go through a divorce, and then I am now remarried. And I am just honestly in a different level of life with friendship, God, like my relationships, my family has changed. Like it's gotten better. My relationship, like with God, most importantly, has gotten way better. Than like my right hand man, like his presence. I literally wake up and I'm like, I just want to feel your presence. That's my priority. My priority is his presence. And so like I just align myself back with my faith. You know, I think when we go through life, we just kind of go through things and you just kind of lose sight of what should be your priority and what should be your focus. And for me, like just kind of going through life, I realized, you know what, I'm not right within, and let me get there. And I think those last 2 years, just changing my career path and then going through life changes, like going through something that really, where I felt like almost defeated me. But I couldn't let
came through what?
I couldn't let it undefeated, you know? And so I would say definitely the last 2 years I was transitioning to becoming a woman, becoming her. I feel like I was a girl. I was a lady, you know, and now I feel like I'm becoming a woman, like, you know, and so I think that's like something I'm very proud of. Obviously, I'm still working, I'm still getting there, but I'm just loving the woman I'm becoming. And sometimes I look back, I'm like, last year you wasn't here. Last year you wasn't there. And like even 2-3 years ago, I'm like, dang. And like sometimes I just have moments of like emotional outbursts where I'm grateful for where I'm at. But when I look back at where I was 2, 3, 4 years ago, I'm like, Sharell, that's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you look at yourself and I'm judging to myself. I'm very like, oh, you thought that was cute? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you thought you ate my girl?
Posted that? Oh, and nobody told you was wrong.
It's the people, but you're growing.
Yeah. And so definitely evolution. Evolution. Last 2 years.
I love the fact that you hit on, I was a girl, but now I'm becoming a woman. Because it's a lot of stuff that we go through at certain age ranges and we get trapped there.
Oh yeah.
And so a lot of our actions, you can meet a 40-year-old, three-year-old, physically 40.
And you see that every day. It's sad. You see it every day. And a lot of times because you were someone who was in those shoes, maybe not the same age, but you can almost tell what they're going through. You can almost tell like, hey, they ain't right within. They're struggling from this. They're struggling from that. Like, you can, for me, it's so easy to see. Like, and because of my experience in life, I can tell when people just are not happy in their situation. I can tell when they're just drinking for their emotions, like trying to block it out, when they need to like do some true deep healing, like whether that's therapy, prayer, journaling. Like I can literally almost call it out.
And it's because you took that time to identify it within yourself.
Oh yeah.
And you took that time to be like, God, I know I do this. And once he revealed it, it's like once your eyes are open, they're not only open for you. You're looking at everybody like, oh my God, you don't see it. And then it's like scary because you're like, you guys don't see it. You don't see it. And it's like, oh.
It's going to humble you for sure. Yes. That self-reflection, you're like, oh my God. It's embarrassing. I'm not going to lie. It is so embarrassing. And I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'm on social media. So sometimes I see people and I'm like, oh man, you remind me so much of where I was at and who I was. And it's like, obviously, because of my heart, I be wanting to reach out, but I understand people got to want it for themselves. And so I refrain from doing so. But in my head, I'm like, dang, I wish they knew the impact of this. And sometimes I do reach out, but not in no guiding way. But when people post their feelings on social media, my baby dad. That's honestly that woman empowerment part of me. I do tap in. I'm like, you know what? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, let it. I always start with empathy. So I always start by, I pray that whatever you're going through, you get through this will not defeat you, And then I wait for them to respond, and then I kind of give a little bit more like direction. Right. Because I feel like for me, I think I don't like mean girls who sit there and mock another woman. You know what I'm saying? You sitting there girl, you heard, yeah, she posted on Snap that her baby daddy, with Keisha. You know, like, no, be that support. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they don't have a real friend. Maybe they don't have someone that actually check on them and say, you know what, hey, God got you. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we want to make fun of the next person. We have to realize either we, one, could be there, or two, have been there. And so I think being humble amidst everything, when you're like revolving and evolving into who you're becoming, being humble to me is like the most important piece of it, because a lot of people like to be like, oh, couldn't be me. Oh, you know, been there, done that. And it's like, if you've been there, you know how I feel. Why not show grace? You know what I'm saying? Why not?
And on that note, we going on to the next segment, because show grace. Even in your time of change, and even in your time of factory resetting, just have grace on others and on yourself.
Amen.
So over here, our episodes are broken out into about 7 segments, 6 of which are actually speaking. The last of which, you know, because you're a watcher, support the pod, guys.
We love that.
The 7th segment is really just a web tip of the day, but we don't necessarily talk about it. We just posted at the end of the video.
Okay.
So the segments are broken out into, obviously, the icebreaker, which is say The next segment that we're going into is titled The Internet.
Okay.
And I think you've been around enough tech people to know that the internet is those things that we connect to, right? As it relates to the podcast and the episode, it's those things that we connect with, whether it's individuals, you as a LT, I know your connection with others, even with you as an NCO before you transition, it was a lot of people that you had to interact with. And it's just like, whew. And with you mentioning earlier that you lead with empathy, you probably it's like a lot of empath. You know what I mean? I'm taking on a lot of emotions, especially with soldiers and everything like that. So the internet segment is those things that we could connect to. Maybe it was in our childhood, you get what I'm saying? Throughout life, our day-to-day, our job. So today's focus in the internet segment is the external factors or societal expectations that may lead someone to feel like they need to reset their life. So the first question I have for you is, what external pressures or life circumstances pushed you to consider a reset?
Oof.
And it could be at any time.
I would say, honestly, my hardest reset was almost 3 years ago.
Okay.
And like I said, that's when I was transitioning from the enlisted to officer side of things. And for me, I was going through so much in my home life, in my marriage at the time. And I was like praying about it as well, because I'm someone who, when I say certain things and I do vows, I'm meaning them, but also I have to understand, for me, where I'm at in life and why I feel the way I'm feeling about certain things. So I'm going to pray about it, give it to God and all those things. And at some point when I start praying and I start to see like, God lead me in a direction, but you want to ignore that direction because you'd be like, give me another sign, God. That one clear. Give me another one. And I think as I started to go through, because before I got divorced, I got separated.
Okay.
And I wanted a legal separation because I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was doing, because I didn't know at the time or whatever. I just felt things. And so for me, that person became honestly very ugly to me. And through that, I started to like go through depression, because I suffered things that I'm not gonna talk about online just because, privacy. But with that, I started to like be down and hopeless. And I feel like I had to go to God. I feel like I had to like reset and restructure my life, because I feel like if I wouldn't have, I would be someone different today. I would be someone who's using substance abuse and making all the excuses in the world. I'll be ugly because of what happened to me and who someone was to me. I would be that person to other people. And so I had to realize, like, I am heading in a path that I don't want to head in. Like, I was drinking heavy. Like, and when I would drink, I would look back at my videos and photos. I'm like, I look so happy, and that's a lie. And so to me, that was I was like, why do I look this happy? Like, girl, mouth full of
32.
I'm like, why does this look like this interpretation? And so for me, at that moment, I realized that I was using substance, abusing substance. And so I was like, you know what? Let me cut back. Let me refocus in. I didn't realize because of my emotions I was feeling, I was drinking more than I would have. So I was getting drunk. Like, and to me, first of all, it's not a good look. I'm someone who I care about the way I carry myself. I care about, like, I don't know. I just care about how I Yeah, exactly that. And so for me to kind of go back through those videos and see myself and see like what I'm portraying and who I'm being, I'm like, I'm not satisfied. Right. And I know he wasn't satisfied. Right. And so I started praying more. I think at that time I wasn't really praying as often. It was like something casually I did, honestly, if I'm being honest, transparent. And I think at that point in time, I basically was like, let me get into church. Yeah. So I literally got into church, got into the Bible, like got into the word and just kind of started leading with that. And like anytime I felt troubled, I would go to him. And I think that was like definitely an external pressure that kind of made me reset. It was just like kind of feeling like my life was in shambles and like suffering from hopelessness and depression. I was like, something has to give, because if not, I'm going to give into it versus like coming out through the other side. So definitely, girl, divorce will make you reset for sure. literally, figuratively, spiritually, in every way.
All of it. You're going to reset. I love that. And I love that you were courageous enough to even identify that within yourself, because a lot of people will get to that point and stay there. And even if somebody try to point it out, they will argue them down. Like, although they know like what's going on, like you're aware whenever you're in those situations, you're aware that you're not your best self or you're not feeling a certain type of way. But I love that you were courageous enough and was like, no, something has to change.
Yeah. And the thing about it, people around me was letting me. Wow. And I understand, from their perspective, I understand, because they was like, I know she's going through something. I'm going to let her have this. But for me, I'm like, no, you should have tapped me and be like, hey, baby, let's talk. You know, let's talk. You know, but I mean, people support and show up the way they know how. So I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. And then I think a lot of times, like you said, people show up and support the way that they know how. A lot of times people will talk about God, like they might have a relationship with God, but they feel like, okay, I'm living this type of way. I can't come to this person because obviously they're going to think I'm a hypocrite. Yeah. So I can't present them with God. So all I can do is support them. Let's drink together. Let's do this, you know, because I feel like me being there is me being supportive.
Yeah. Me checking in, me calling you. Know what I mean? If you want to go out, okay, we can do it together.
Because at the end of the day, we can change together. So if I present God to you, I'm like, no, I know for a fact this man can help. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, oh, well, you don't do this, Yeah. Well, let's grow together. Yeah. Like you said. So that was beautiful. Yeah. So the next question I have for you is, how did society's expectation or norms shape your decision to hit the reset button? Whew.
Oh, society. I feel like that word itself is society pressures. It's already pressures. I think for me, when I was going through, I think society normalized it, actually. Wow. I feel like society, or at least the environment that I was in, I feel like it was normalized to go through a divorce and become a 304. Right. Honestly. Wow. I think it was normalized to go through divorce and become, used to substance abuse. At least the people that I had in my circle, like they normalized it. Like no one was saying like, hey, go to God, or hey, seek help, or go to therapy. I had to make it within myself, like, hey, I need to go to therapy. Wow. Hey, I need to go to God. Like I literally, so I feel like, honestly, society, and they frown down on divorces. Wow. Even if it's killing you, even if you're leaving a situation to save yourself, society is not okay with divorces. People was not supportive of my divorce. But when I told them, it's sad almost, because I had to tell them what I endured. And I'm like, oh, right, you're still here? Oh, baby, you're still on baby, you survived. Oh my gosh. You survived. And it's just like, which I understand, people have their, beliefs in marriages and stuff like that. And, marriage is supposed to, endure through the test of times, However, I am an advocate for marriage. Right. I mean, I got remarried. Right. But to me, obviously, is from a different perspective. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You go through things now, what you're no longer willing to accept and take, and things of that nature. But I would say society, for me, it wasn't a good place to be at the time when I was going through what I was going through, honestly. Like the pressure was to stay in my marriage. And I'm like, no, it's literally killing me.
And when it comes to society, everybody, don't get me wrong, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Mm-hmm. But please make sure that you realize that your opinions are just that. Mm-hmm. Nobody has to live by what you say. Mm-hmm. Your statement is not a fact.
One quote I saw at the time was, there is no bump bed bump beds and caskets. I'm like, you're right. Like, this is my life, and I'm gonna die, and none of this stuff is gonna matter one day. So the way I live it, why am I subjecting myself to what society thinks? Why am I subjecting myself to, honestly, that even what my mama, papa, anyone thinks, because at the end of the day, when I die, you're not coming with me. You're not. And like the quote went very deep and was saying, like, your job is going to move on. Yeah. Your family's going to love you. They're going to have, reunions and stuff for you. But their life is going to go on.
They are going to continue.
That job is going to continue. Your family's going to continue. Your spouse might remarry. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, life goes literally. But like, life goes on. And so like, you can't subject yourself and be so overwhelmed with society think about you, because at that point, you're going to realize you're living in a robot motion, trying to please everyone except for yourself. And you're going to be so miserable.
Thank you.
Been there. Hello.
Thank you.
Listen,
so, because similar to that, my quote is that you can't answer for me when it comes time for me to stand in front of God on Judgment Day. My mama, my daddy, my grandma,
nobody with you.
They can't answer for what I did, so I have to be accountable for my actions. Yep. Meaning, if I'm accountable for my actions, okay, thank you for sharing, but I don't have to, abide by that. Right. So,
and I think that's the problem. Like, my thing is, I'm never someone who say like, oh, I don't want to hear it. Right. I'll take any advice you have to give me, but I don't like when people get upset that you're not abiding by what they think you should do.
Right.
I appreciate your opinion.
Right. I never told you I was going to take it.
It's just like the homegirl that call you and, about the man 20,000 times. You tell her to leave her. He ain't good for her. She don't leave him, babe. I'm going to support you until you decide to leave, because I know that you got to have enough yourself. And so let me have enough myself.
Thank you.
Let me get there. Let me cook.
Please. Water whip in the kitchen. Leave me alone. So how did the opinions of, I guess this rolls right into the next question of how do the opinions of others affect your choice to start over or change directions?
I think I had to come to a place where I didn't care what others think. And I think that quote played a big portion of it, because I think for me, at a long time, I did care. Yeah. I think at a point in my life, I care what others thought about me. I care how I perceived myself. I mean, how I presented myself. And I still do care how I present myself, because obviously I don't want to be known. I think legacy is important, right. What you remember for. But for me, I had to like kind of just get out of that mindset of like, who cares if I leave this situation? You know what I'm saying? Like, who is this hurting? Obviously, as long as I leave it gracefully and not like someone who's vindictive or vengeful or, spiteful, as long as I leave it with good intentions and I know that I tried every single thing I could and even went to God. And every time I went to God, he gave me a sign and I ignored every sign. I'm like, all right, God, just let him shoot me at this point. Like, God, just let him shoot me, man. Maybe I'll get the sign. And so for me, I just kind of had to honestly just be present with him and only care about what he thought. You know what I'm saying? And literally listen to what he was telling me. Because every time I prayed about the situation, because I was at a crossroad with, and I was like, am I giving up too easy or am I not trying hard enough? Right. And that was like, to me, a very tricky place to be. I'm like, okay, am I not trying hard enough or am I walking away too easy? And for me, I'm like, every single time I prayed that prayer, when I tell you he had that person dig a knife in my back every single time, it wasn't a day where I prayed to God and he didn't reveal something new to me when it came to that situation. And so I had to kind of just tune out everything else and just pay attention to what he was showing me. Literally, he was putting it in my face. And
gonna do it
he was knocking me upside the head with it. And he wasn't like, here, child. He was like, boop.
Because I done tried to tell you softly.
Dang, is this a concussion? I need to go to the ER. I need to go to the ER. Listen, I lay down in the concussion and you ain't gonna wake back up.
You can lay down, you can't go to sleep though. You can lay down though.
Nah, girl, I wouldn't get back up. I'm like, I need to go get sleep about this. Girl, he was laying me out. I got my chest.
I'm sorry.
How much more? How much more?
It's crazy because we'll always pray a prayer and we already got the answer to the prayer in our mind. And that's what makes it hard, because God is going to keep you in that cycle. Guess what? Until you learn this lesson. Because I done taught you. And I done sent you the answer 30 times. Listen, don't worry about it. You want to stay in the cycle? You stay there.
That's the crazy thing about it. Because sometimes you go with something and you already know. But you just wait on. I don't even know how many confirmation
you want him to come back with the answer that you already made up in your head. It don't work like that. Because you're probably going to say no 9 times out of 10. Cut it off.
Well, God, if. Well, hear me out. Listen.
I said no.
But.
All right. But yeah, that's beautiful though. just tuning in with God and caring about what he thinks, because he already told us what he thinks of us
a million times.
And it's scribed. It's written out. You know what I'm saying? Beautifully and wonderfully made. And we're here he wants us to live a life of joy, of, you know what I mean? Peace, all the good things. And every decision that we make, we just tend to put ourselves in all the other stuff.
We do.
This ain't peaceful. I'm not joyous.
How'd I get here, Lord? How'd I get here?
So that's beautiful. I love that. And I love that you're becoming.
I love the becoming. The becoming.
So the next segment in the episode is called the buffering segment. And it's after we've interacted with those things which we've came across in the internet phase. And our body, our mind, our spirit just needs a little pause to kind of try to process, like, what's going on? Whoa, what was that? You know what I mean? So today's focus is the internal struggle and emotional limbo experienced during a major reset or life change. So first question I have for you is, what was the hardest part of the reset process?
Oh, Lord,
was it the fear of the unknown or the uncertainty of the outcome?
I would go with the uncertainty of the outcome. For me, at that time, there was a child involved.
Okay.
And it wasn't my biological child. But I had a really good relationship with that child. And so for me, it was very fearful for me to not know what that relationship would look like. Yeah. It was almost like heart-wrenching. Like, I was afraid to, honestly, that's kind of why I stayed as long as I did, because I was afraid of like that, you know, situation not being what I wanted to be. But God has other plans for sure, and he will reveal them to you. And so I think just not being certain at the time, it was, to me, something that I just couldn't fathom. But now it's like small things to a giant, you know. When you make him a priority, honestly, it's just like, it worked out. It did what it was supposed to do.
A giant. It worked out.
Because
people would say, oh, all things work together for my good. Those mean the bad things too. It's not just the good.
Girl, I think the whole time I was going through that transition, all I said to God was, everything's intentional. Even when it hurted, I said, God is intentional. I said, God's intentional. So even if this hurts now, I know you're doing it for the purpose. And he revealed his purpose. Because when I tell you what I have now in life, like, not even just my spouse, just what I have in life as far as like my gratitude, my peace, my mental well-being, and then the person that I've chose to remarry, like, I'm like, you know what, God, I see what you did. You know, put me through it again. I'm just playing. But honestly, I understood that I had to go through what I went through to get what I have now. And to be appreciative of what I have now, and to realize what it was he was taking me out of. And I was like, oh, shoot. It's honestly almost like a fairy tale. Obviously, I got my days, you know what I'm saying? Every situation does. But like, to kind of have that emotional security, and to me, emotional security is something I never knew I needed. I never knew I needed. I never knew I didn't feel emotionally safe. But when you're in a situation and you feel like ultimately safe, physically, mentally, emotionally, you're like, God, what is this?
Wow,
is this a trick? God, I was looking up.
So is this a trick?
And I mean, honestly, trauma would do that to you. You would question every good thing in your life, and you would push it away. I know I did. And so I had to go to God. Girl, I went to God the day before we got married. I said, God, it ain't too late. I literally told him,
come on, what you got?
I literally said, God, it's not too late. If this person is not meant for me, regardless of how much it hurt, remove them. Because I know I ain't want to go through what I went through. Literally, girl, I got in the bed. He put my vows on my heart. Vows started running like faucet water. I'm like, okay, well, God.
All right.
Mind you, I did not write my vows. And I was like, you know what? I was going to write my vows at night. And I was like, okay, pray about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was not coming to me the way I wanted it to. Like, obviously, I had things in my head, ideas, but it was not coming the way I wanted it to. And so I was like, I went in the mirror. No, I showered. And so I was in the bathroom. And I was like, okay, here we go, God. And, you know, hey, this your last time. Listen, I ain't scared to, hey.
The door right there.
And so, like, I prayed, and I prayed very intentional. And throughout the whole time I was dating her, I was praying. I was like, God, I don't care what this looks like and what I feel. If it's not meant to be, if it's not for me, remove it. Remove it. He was removing friends. I'm like, come to my heart. I'm very intentional with you. Like, you know what I'm saying, God? Like, what are you doing? Like, not oh, girl from 8 years. not Keisha.
Not Keisha.
But
I thought I liked her.
Yeah, that was my A1 since day one, or whatever we be saying, you know? And so, like, he did his big one. He did. He definitely, I'm not gonna say he made up for it, but he showed me his purpose. Right. He showed me what I was, not what I was supposed to, because it's gonna happen the way it's supposed to. Right. But he showed me the life and what it looks like. Yeah. And especially with my elevation throughout my career and stuff, I felt like it was just almost perfect timing. Right, you know what I'm saying? Because everyone can go with you. You know what I'm saying? Everyone cannot go to that next level of success with you. Man. And I think you have to really pay attention to those people that's holding you down, those people that's holding you back, and those people that he's causing those conflicts with. You know what I'm saying? Those people you start to feel the ick about. It's like, you know, this is coincidental. You know, but he definitely revealed to me why that person couldn't make it to my next chapter, who was supposed to be there for sure. Which I didn't believe him. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't believe him. I'm like, God, I think I'm supposed to enter this season alone. You know, this is feeling very wholesome alone. Like, well, how did this happen? Because it was, girl, it was not supposed to happen. It was not. Yeah. But, you know, we're here now. And I'm grateful for it.
That's how it works. What's going to happen? Yeah. What will be, will be. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
God don't need no assistance.
Mm-hmm.
He don't need our 2 cents. He just be a vessel, be a willing vessel, and he will use you.
I think that's what I'm working on right now. Just letting him use me. And I have to tell him, like, just use me, God. Like, regardless of what I think I need to do, just use me. And I'm like, oh,
thank
God,
you.
You use me too fast. Hold on. I said this yesterday. Don't use me right now. I'm just saying, I'm preparing for you to use me.
Because he don't give you a time schedule.
He gonna act.
Sure. No timeline. He gonna do it when he want to do it. So how did you deal with the fear and self-doubt during the reset process?
If I'm being completely transparent, therapy.
Wow.
Therapy. Speaking those fears out loud and just kind of owning them and hearing them play back to you.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm delusional. This is crazy. You know, I'm over here thinking something that, and then, you know, to have someone give you a mirror and tell you, like, this is what I heard you say. And you're like, I ain't say nothing that crazy. Like, what do you, they was like, you said this. I'm like,
look,
And so honestly, just kind of having that reflection back on me, telling me, like, you know, this is not healthy. This is not okay. You have to have more self-respect and love. Because I love that kid.
Yeah.
I love that kid.
Right.
But I realized that I ain't have enough self-respect for myself to endure what I was enduring trying to stay in that child life.
Yeah.
And so knowing that I had to have more self-respect and love, that put it in perspective for me, honestly. I was like, okay, so I love you so much that I'm going to kill me?
Ooh, the emotions.
That ain't good.
The emotions
that ain't healthy.
Look, the emotions that have you doing stuff that you... I didn't do that. Once you come to, I ain't do nothing.
That reflection is crazy. It was
crazy. One situation. I was mad, right? And
we love anger.
I had just got back from a trip to Puerto Rico.
Okay.
You know how much peace I was at?
I love it.
I was so at peace. My favorite place to be is on an island.
Okay.
I came back with so much peace. And I'm like, okay, boom. I'm about to go. It was a situation like, I like co-parenting with a dog. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get the dog. I'm gonna get the dog. Man, they might have came back to us something. Oh, I just feel like you gonna take it. The dog gonna get off schedule. I said, it's a dog.
I'm hollering.
I'm in text messages. Like, we're going back and forth through text messages, right? So one of the text messages, it was a response. I was like, and who said anything like that? I done went back and read through text messages.
That's exactly what you said.
That was me.
Ain't no way I said that.
And who in your ear? Because who would say something?
Right. Because who gossiping about me? Why would...
I said, I saw that with one of my friends. I read through the text message. I said, yeah, that was me. That was me.
Checkmate. Ooh. We love those emotional responses when we're angry.
I can't stand an emotional response. So that was one of my emotional times, because y'all know I try to lead with logic. But I was already, I'm like, they done.
We're practicing. We're practicing emotional intelligence. We're getting there.
I had all the peace. I think I was more mad about my peace being disrupted. That's really what got me.
The audacity. I was having my way. How dare you inconvenience me?
4 whole days of peace.
This is an inconvenience.
And the 5th day.
This is diabolical. How dare you? This is the devil work.
Look, it's nothing but the devil. Because God wouldn't do nothing like this.
You're the problem.
Look, at that point, I was the problem. So did you experience any resistance from yourself or others when making the change?
Oh yeah. 1000%. More internal. Okay. The whole battle was internal, to be honest. It was the battle for sure on my side was internal. It was very internal because the things that I was thinking, the things I was dealing with, I was, I'm someone who analyzes everything. Yeah. And so I started spiraling. I started going in my head deep, and I'm like, oh, this lined up with this. A went to Z real quick for me.
Started calculating
and it did. And so for me, I would like spiral with, if I'm not in his life, he's going to become this way. If I'm not in his life, this is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I am, this figure. I do these things. I'm this nurturer. So once I'm gone, he's going to not have that. And now his life is going to, and it's like, honestly, even if that was to happen, that's not my cross to bear. You know what I'm saying? I have no legal obligations to this kid. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And, or no biological obligations. And this person has, showed me X, Y, and Z patterns time and time again, and I keep going back because I want to co-parent. Mind you, I'm divorced at this point. I'm just going back for the child. And it was not healthy. It was not healthy. No one agreed with it. No one in my life agreed with it. But they were patient enough and understood me enough mentally to be like, I'm going to let her see it for herself. And I appreciate that. Wow. Like, I appreciate that so much. Like, everyone knew because I was talking about them. Yeah, sure. So I was talking about you know how your friends know something, you're like, yeah, girl. And that's how everyone was. And I did have a couple people that be honest with me, but I gave them an excuse. And so once you see somebody ain't ready, you be like, I'm gonna let her. I'm gonna let her do it. And so for me, the battle was definitely internal. I was spiraling with what ifs. What if it don't happen? Right. What if it all works out? Right. You know what I'm saying? What if you were only meant to be in that child's life for that season? You know what I'm saying? And what if you did all you could do in those moments? You know what I'm saying? And what if your time now has expired? Yeah. I wasn't thinking like that because I was becoming a woman. So at that time, I'm just thinking like, worst case scenario, and then I have my own internal and we have to analyze what we got going on that pulls us to someone. I have daddy issues, abandonment issues. So the last thing I ever want to do is abandon a kid. Right. You know what I'm saying? Especially because to me, that's deep rooted. But I had to realize that I'm projecting now. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to make up in my mind that I was done. And so I had a conversation with him, wrote him a letter. I pray to God he still have the letter. But if he don't, I got a copy. But I had to kind of have that conversation with him and, let him know what was happening. But he was 13 when I did decide to cut off the relationship. So I was in his life from 3 to 13. And I had to realize that when I had that conversation, I was at peace with it because I had already talked to God about it. Right. And I was already asking him what to do. And every single day he showed me something, which was crazy. Literally for a week straight, he was showing me sign. But the good thing about it, when I was in that co-parent relationship with his mother, she kept taking him. Every time she would get mad at me, she would take him. But me, I'm like, having a piece of a child is better than not having any child at all. And so I kept going back. And that time when I was actually ready to be done, when I read him the letter, I told him, I was like, hey, you don't seem shocked by this. Right. And this is my first time ever breaking it off. So I said, were you expecting this? He said, yeah. I said, why were you expecting this? He said, my mother told me this is my last time being here. Unbeknownst to me, she was already willing to take him, already prepared to take him. So we was actually on the same type of time. Right. I was just more permanent than she was just more emotional. Right. Because she was upset about the conversation we had earlier that weekend where we disagreed about something. Right. And so she was deciding that, okay, because you don't see my standpoint, I'm going to take a child from you. That's biologically your child. You have every obligation to do so. But to me, just kind of knowing that the cycle was never going to stop, because I kept going back thinking, like, it'll change this time. It'll change this time. Yeah. We had a sit down, heart to heart conversation. She saw the impact this makes on him, because it's always about the kid. It doesn't even matter how I feel. It's always about the best thing for the child. And so I was like, she understands. He's told her this. He's told her that. She's going to make the best decision for him. But, sometimes when we're not emotionally intelligent yet, we kind of discard everyone else's feelings except for our own, even if it's our own kids. It's unfortunately,
they're the only valid emotions.
At that point. Yeah. And so, I just kind of had to own in and kind of realize that your time has expired. Right. And if it was to resurface and he's grown, and I even told him, I was like, my door will always be open for you when you're non-dependent on this parent. I did have to make that clear. As long as you have to be dependent on that person. So 18 and older, you know, and he's a boy, so you know, maybe 35. You know, they age a little. I'm just kidding.
Not 35. Not kidding.
But and so I just kind of I have that door open, but to me, I've accepted that it may not even ever happen, which is okay. You know, it's okay, you know, because I have to know that I served my time and I did it. You know?
And it's hard to wrap your head around, but everybody has an expiration date.
Everybody, everything
has an expiration date.
Yeah.
You, like you said, you may was there just for that season, but there will be a time in his life because he's not going to forget you. You know what I'm saying? The impact will always be greater. You get what I'm saying? So it's going to be a time he knows that the door's open. He knows that opportunity, like, okay, I got somebody that, you know, somebody I can go to if I need this, or if I could just want to talk, or just somebody that I know I can depend on because she showed me in her actions before. So I wouldn't worry about that. But y'all stop using the babies as manipulation. That's witchcraft. Manipulation is witchcraft. Stop using it. Just if you're gonna be done, be done. If you feeling some type of way, just say that.
Yeah. If it's something you cannot handle,
just say that.
Be honest and open about it. Me, I would rather you tell me like, hey, I'm sorry because this divorce is fresh and my feelings are here with this and I have not accepted X, Y, and Z. I cannot go into a co-parent relationship with you. I will respect that 1,000% more than you sitting here pretending to be my friend, pretending to co-parent.
Playing games.
Oh, I almost revealed something, but let me be quiet. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to do all of those things. And to me, I didn't even understand what the reason were because like it was almost like you're trying to control the situation because you know they mention wifey every single time. It's something we're arguing about shoes. What? Wait, what?
How we got to this?
Like, it's just, and it kind of let me know what the problem was. It let me know, like, you have not accepted my new life, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? You want it to still be you, but it will never be. I'm sorry. It will never be. Never again. You know, and they didn't accept that, you know, which led to, you know, emotional responses and, you know, them, you know,
reactions.
Yeah. Emotional reactions for sure. You know what I'm saying? We've been very modest today. You know, we're definitely sparing.
Very political.
Yeah, we're sparing people because honestly, I don't need to out you. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to expose you because, you know, God is within me, and it's like
working and you're overcoming.
Yeah.
That.
You know, now listen, caught me 2 years ago.
You got
and why not? Because like, but. That's not who I am.
Ready to run to that you know, victim mode when you're becoming. So it's like, I'm healing from that. So I don't want to stay there. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, I was a volunteer. I was a volunteer. And I had to realize that. And it took therapy for me to realize that. I feel like when you stay in a situation for so long, you become a volunteer to it. You start off a victim. You can start off a victim. But once you start seeing things and praying about things and you get signs and you ignore those red flags and you think they're sick flags, you're the volunteer at this point. You volunteered. You know what I'm saying?
Rapping, I'm telling you.
You know, I used to do that back in the day.
Yeah, I know.
But listen. Like you really become a volunteer. Honestly, like if you stay in a situation that you know is no longer serving you, and you subject yourself to the mental and verbal abuse and the, you know, all these things that come with it, like you're a volunteer. Because at any given point you could leave once everything was revealed to you and you chose to stay. You know what I'm saying? We're going to give you grace. But when it's X, Y, and Z years, I stayed with that person for 8 years.
Look.
I was a volunteer.
Ooh.
After 2 years, I became a volunteer.
I had just had a episode, I think last week's episode. Or
I ain't got it yet. Don't spoil it.
Okay, so it was like episode 7. So episode 7. And I was telling him, I was like, one of my favorite quotes is like, you know, I made it up or whatever. I was like, but we're a product of our decisions, not our product of our environment. And I understand that at a certain point, like when you have no say so over what's going on, you're a product of your environment. Right. But once you come to that age of understanding and decision making, and you can make decisions for yourself and for your well-being, and you still choose to be in that place, in that space. Yeah. That's a product of your decisions.
We had the same 24 hours.
And you chose to be there.
We had the same 24 hours and we probably had the same environment.
Thank you.
Same circumstances.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And I think to me, and that's what I was saying, like, I could be someone who sit around here bitter, angry, saying, oh, you know, I was dealt this hand X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. What would that get me?
Stuck
nowhere.
In the same place?
Yeah,
because
nowhere.
You're gonna use it as a crutch.
Yeah.
And so want people to be you want people to feel sorry for you so that they can do for you. It's a form of manipulation.
For sure. Because you know people are gonna play that guilt card. You know what I'm saying? I'm no victim. I'll tell you quick, I ain't no victim. I'm no victim. I'm a volunteer. I volunteered to be in those circumstances.
Thank you.
You know, because no one put a gun up to my head.
Right.
At least not physically. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So I volunteer for sure.
And that's all right. Because now that we know, you know when to stop volunteering now. It's only
you
volunteer hours is
limited.
Yeah,
for sure. I think most of them close around 1,700. Sometimes you may vary.
Hours.
You may vary.
Come on.
But
you
for sure.
Service, but you know you only got 6 hours.
I would definitely say that situation taught me so much though.
Wow.
That marriage taught me so much.
Yeah.
And I think honestly you learn more from bad than you do from good.
Yeah.
And so now I know what I'm not going for ever again. Oh. And I know how to communicate. Yeah. You know, I know how to communicate my feelings and I know how to have my feelings validated. Yeah. And to me that's so important. Right. That to me is so important.
Right.
Because when I start open my mouth and you invalidate my feelings, I now feel triggered. Yeah. And now I'm defensive. Yeah. And like now I can sit here and say, well, baby, let's talk about it. I don't like how you said this in response to this. You know, so I'm able to kind of talk in a more delicate way because I know what it's like to be yelled at and screamed at and not had anything heard. Right. So now I practice, you know, in a different light now. And so to me, it's been amazing to kind of just see my transition, honestly, in my marriage. Wow. Honestly. Like even obviously my work has transitioned, my life with Christ, my family members, like I love seeing that. But when I see like, hey, you are such a healthy person, like you are so healthy and you handle conflict so well, regardless of what you've gone through. It's just like, oh, wow. Okay. We love us.
Come
you know what I'm saying? Like we love that. And then my wife will definitely reassure me. She reassured me like no other, honestly. Right. And that's honestly one thing that made me kind of grow to her because she understood my pain. She understood my past. And honestly, more than people who's been in my life and kind of seen it because I like realized I'd be telling myself, I'm like, dang, I ain't never told nobody that. And it kind of hurts. It hurts sometimes when you speak it because it's like, well, I know I ain't sit there and let this happen to me. Right. I know it. And then
I know I did.
Yeah, I say 2 years after that happened. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And so when I sit there and I say things and she just kind of like, I have this thing where I jump in my sleep.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but it's a trauma response to something that happened to me. And so when we're sleeping, I jump and she just kissed my forehead and say, you're okay.
Right.
And I'm like, damn.
All right.
Like, damn. Like, you know, really. But she was there 2 years ago. And so, not exactly 2 years ago, but like a year and a half ago. And so she was kind of telling me like, you know, I see the woman you've become and I'm so proud of her. Right. And like just hearing that and just kind of knowing that like, I am actually becoming this person that I can be proud of. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what other people see and what they think. This is someone I am truly proud of. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just, to me, it's just like, it makes it worth it. You know what I'm saying? It makes the work that you put in. Because the work is ugly. The work. And no one talk about it. And I'm like, oh, I'm healing. I'm healing. We love that. Girl.
I'm fighting for my life.
Girl. You know how many tears I shed? I'm like, God, I'm tired of crying. Like, dang, there ain't no expiration on crying.
Look, at some point, I'm going to be hard, ain't it?
Like, you over here dry crying now. God, I'm sobbing. Why ain't it coming out? Them tears got tired of me, too.
Look. Actually, no, for real. Mm-hmm. Oh, I just ran across a piece of property. I said, I try to get out there tomorrow. I said, it'll probably be later in the evening. I said, my whole day.
So you really running.
Look, I was like, my whole day full. Yeah. I said, I'll probably be free around 4. He was like, okay, it's fine. So it's by the warehouse. I'm like, all right.
Okay.
Oh, Lord have mercy. All right.
Yeah. It's going to be rewarding, though. Yeah, it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off.
Definitely is. So
if it wouldn't be that easy.
Thank you.
Well, it wouldn't be so trying. It'll be easy.
Look.
Yeah. They say if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Everybody be doing it.
Yeah.
Good. That's why I tell and encourage everybody to like listen. Mm-hmm. It ain't for the weak, but it's definitely rewarding because at the end of the day, I can't be working for somebody for all my life.
That part.
I got to get out of here. I'm waiting on God to say when right now.
Tell me when, Lord.
I'm so ready. I'm
knock me out if you have to.
Look, I'm over there. I'm like, Lord, I know it's not yet, but whenever you ready, whenever you say go, it's over with.
Yeah. That's my I think that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to like I'm trying to suffer in my 30s so I can be put up in my 40s. That's what I'm at right now. People was like, oh, you doing 20, you doing 20, you doing 20. I'm like, absolutely. Yeah. And especially for me being an officer. For sure. I'm like, do you not know how much I'm make on retirement? K-Whoa. And I'm already going to add in 100% because I know I'm going to get out 100%. Hello. I know too many people that tell me what to do. Hello. Hey, you said do with it?
Yeah. Thank you.
Twist my ankle. I'm just saying.
Thank you.
But, so for me, I'm just looking at the like, I've already been looking at retirement homes. That's crazy. I'm like, Lord.
Thank you.
Anything. But I honestly use it as a way to keep me up. I'm like, Lord, I'm just over it. Because I ain't going to hold you. You know, the military is not easy. And sometimes I be over it and I have to tell myself, Sharell, you got 10 more years. And listen, you'll be out of here. You'll be 38 and you'll be good. You know what I'm saying? You'll be good. So I'm like, okay. And I saw her too. She was ready to get outside. I need 10.
Finish it off.
I need 10. Hey, babe.
Finish it off.
Because she only 1 year behind me. So I was like, I said, because she don't want to ever work for nobody when she get out. I said, baby, you give me 10 years, you do whatever you want to get out.
For real,
but I need that stable income. Yeah. Me personally, I'm someone who I need stability. And especially growing up in poverty, it's like, you know, that becomes the most important thing to you. Yeah. Like, I didn't have stability. My mom hopped from job to job. And like, when she was good, we were good. But when she was bad, we were all bad. So to me, stability is important. So to know that like, hey, once I'm done, I can literally put my feet up, even though I want to still work personally, just because I want to be a therapist. I want to do psychology, but I want to have my own private practice. Right. But I know I have to start in someone's office or whatever.
And so me, I'm suffering through. They said build in your 20s so you can live in your 30s. And when I tell you, been brick by brick, sod by sod, dirty at this point. Just getting that. Got to do what you got to do. Build. Bob. Little sister.
But it's definitely good when you kind of, honestly, to me, it's important whenever you just break the generational curse and you're a step ahead of the game, you know? You're like, okay, my mom, and you know, shout out to the parents because they do great, but it's just kind of like the fact that, you know, I can kind of see where I'm at already. I know it's so far from where you were at with me and what you showed me. I'm just grateful to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm so grateful. Like, poverty is the reason I go so hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, growing up in it, I was never comfortable in it. You know, it made me uncomfortable. So to me, I'm like, I don't, you know, and I hate it, but I love it because my mom is my best friend. Yeah. But she's also my motivation because I don't want to be like her.
Right.
You know, but I love her. Yeah. And I probably never tell her that. Like, in some aspects of her, I want to be like her. I want to be the parent that she is to me. But when it comes to like survival and jobs and like, you piss her off, baby, she is gone. And to me, it's just like, it doesn't.
2 seconds to quit.
Hey, she was like, I don't like the way they made me feel. Well, Mom.
What? We gotta eat.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel hungry.
That part. But I mean, she always landed on her feet, but it's just to me, I'm just like, you know, that's not, you know, I want to be better. Yeah. And even though the job is tiring, you know, I just kind of realized, okay, Sharell, first of all, I wake up grateful that I have a stable income because most people don't have that, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of, you know, the pandemic hit so many people's lives. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm grateful for what I have. And I always thank God, like, regardless of what kind of car I drive, what kind of house I live in, thank you for transportation. Thank you for shelter. You know what I'm saying?
The little stuff.
You know what I'm saying? It does not matter what form of it you give me. Just thank you for giving it. Because it's people who can't even pick up a pen anywhere in their house. You know what I'm saying? You can't even have a house to pick up a pen to look for, you know, a battery. You know, the small things that we're not thinking about. You know, to be able to go out and afford batteries when you need them. Like, that's $2. You know what I'm saying? But we don't think about that because you see people in front of you that short change. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, I'm just very grateful for just having the ability and the comfort to buy things when I want to not, I gotta wait for this check to roll over. And sometimes, you know, we do based off certain expenses we want, but just kind of to have that luxury of, you know, this is my life and it's what I've created it.
It's the peace because even if I gotta wait for this to come, I know it's coming.
Oh yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't gotta worry about it.
It's coming. Yeah, I might have ran out of this one, but the next one, 3 days away,
and it's not gonna break you.
Thank you.
It's not gonna break you to wait. You know what I'm saying?
Everything's paid for by
yeah. So going anyway, we've been too much adults. Look at us. I'm mature.
Oh my God.
So what? This was not us. This was not us.
We're sounding like women.
And Stewart, this was not us for sure.
Oh no.
This is crazy. This is crazy. I don't know.
Send me outside.
Right. Not today.
Right now. Ready to get off to go outside. Y'all.
That's funny.
I done partied enough. And people like, oh, you in the house? Gotta be. Because when I was outside, you could have been there.
It's important to go through those phases though, because you don't miss it. You know what I'm saying?
What?
And you know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, No, I'm good.
That was fun.
But when you don't have it, you never experience it. You kind of, you're like,
what am I missing?
You feel something. It's like, why do I feel the urge to do this?
Yes.
Why do I feel the urge to do that? And, I think it's important to kind of have your life and experience life and, be open to those moments. I think I had to go through some of the moments. Man, I'm not proud of myself, who I was with them, but I'm proud of who I became outside of them.
And I can always look back on everything that I went through, and I always look at things with, okay, God, what did you teach me through that?
Oh, yeah.
So I can.
It's always a lesson to be learned.
Yeah, always. Because He wants you to grow.
It's always intentional.
He wants you to grow. So I always look back and I'm like, okay, what do you want me to learn? So there's not one time that I can't look back. I'm like, okay, I was going through this. So, and I don't think I've ever, because I always say I never needed alcohol or anything to have a good time. I was just, let's do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, you've seen, right? You've seen me before, like out and about, like, back then. I've never needed alcohol, but I was in that space where it's like, okay, pleasing the people. So it's like, if my friends like, oh, you want to drink? I'm like, all right, cool, let's drink. I mean, I don't have to, but whatever.
Yeah, if you want to, if this is an environment for it.
Right. I'm like, okay, cool. And so, but it's not one time that I could look back and be like, okay, it was a lot of things that I hadn't healed from. It was a lot of things I hadn't paid attention to. And that's why I was acting like that.
It always goes back to something. It always has a link. Yes. It's always linked to something. Like, and I realize like the person you are today is linked to something somewhere. Like even when I go to therapy and I like tell her like, oh, well, this happened and this is what I did. And she's like, where we get this from? Where did we pick up this from? Girl, I'm talking about now. Why are you talking about childhood? I'm just trying to talk about this. It's so important to realize like the way you respond is always linked to some type of experience you had somewhere, whether that's childhood, whether that's like something you recently encountered, whether that's something that you like kind of through friendships, relationships. It's just always a emotional response tied to something. It's crazy how life works. It's so crazy how life works.
And then, so a lot of people, even when it comes to generational curses, a lot of stuff that people will go through in their childhood, it's a generational curse.
It is.
Others in your family has gone through it. That then by that time it entered into your bloodline. You get what I'm saying? And it
became a norm.
It became a norm. You get what I'm saying? And so it's like, it's not a matter of I didn't feel protected. I didn't feel like I could get over it any other way. You get what I'm saying? And it's no shade to my people on my daddy side, because it took me a minute for me to come and to the realization, because I've always been bold, right? Like I done asked once, I'm being patient. I done asked twice, still being patient.
Right.
By the fifth time, I need to make something shake, because you're not gonna make something shake. So it comes to the point where my dad, so I'm a child out of wedlock. Woot woot. For me, I'm like, okay, well, I didn't have anything to do with that, whatever. So my main thing growing up, my mama said I met my grandmother before. Okay. But I'm like, I don't remember that. I don't know what age I was. Okay, cool. Fast forward, my first job out of the military, I'm working remote. I'm over in Fort Walton Beach for a job. Okay. I knew they were based out of Pensacola, my grandmother. Okay. So I'm like, you know what? I'd have been patient. That's about how many years I'd have been out? 6 years. I'm about 23. Yeah. I'd have been patient all my life. I'm like, all right, cool. So I text my dad. I'm like, hey, what's my grandma's address and her phone number? I'm not just gonna pop up on you without calling.
Let me let you know.
You know what I mean? Number ain't going in and out. I'm like, I ain't getting where I'm trying to go. Right. So I'm like, all right, I'm calling him. I'm like, hey, number's not working, so I don't know. And so he ended up calling and was like, well, she said she home, just go over there. Went and met, cool. A year later, fast forward a year later, my grandmother passed. So had I continued to wait, you get what I'm saying? You would have never had that opportunity. That's crazy. But I said all that to say this, because after she passed, they had a memorial, and then we went back up there. And so I always, because my mom never drank. And, I'm like, okay, if we drinking, all right, cool. Right. My mom never drank. I went up there to my people. I was like, oh,
that's why I get it wrong. Oh, y'all can keep up.
Oh, yeah. Y'all like a little cold drinker too. So, but then it was me in that moment. I had to identify, because it was just one scene that I had seen. I was like, oh, that's a dependency. And I didn't want to be that. And so in that moment, it was like, I need to make a change. But by that time, God was already taking the taste out of my mouth anyway.
We love that.
But like you said, it's always linked. So whether your mom's in your life, whether your dad's in your life, the way you act, if you didn't pick it up, if you can't accurately pinpoint where you picked it up from, it's probably in your lineage. Take the time, and I know it may hurt, it may frustrate you and everything like that. Take the time to go and seek out your people, because that's going to explain who you are as a person. You can't just be like, oh, well, they ain't never been in my life, I don't need them. I'm not saying that you got to stay around them. You get what I'm saying? But go seek them out so that you can learn more about you.
I agree. I think that also kind of goes into the healing, you know, aspect of like, if that person was absent. So for me, my father was absent, and sometimes you carry that with you. And, you know, sometimes you're conscious to your decision you're making. Sometimes you make subconscious decisions based off certain fears or certain emotions you have linked to a certain situation. And so, like, I think being able to, if you can, you know, because everyone don't know how to make certain connections, you know what I'm saying? But I do think it kind of helps heal that little child of you, you know, inside, you know, and it also give you answers, you know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of just gives clarity to a lot of situations, and it's like, okay, now I understand. And now whether you choose to keep that person in your life or not, you can make that informed decision, you know. So it's like, okay, now I have all this information, I don't know what's true, what's false, however I'm going to interpret it this way, and from this I am choosing to A, continue this relationship, or B, you know, continue my way, but I still have enough information to make an informed decision. But unfortunately, in our culture, a lot of parents rob that from the child, you know, off the bat, you know what I'm saying? Oh, they ain't do this for me, they ain't do that, you know. And a lot of times it's the women with no present man, and they kind of make that decision for their child, which they have no jurisdiction to, in my opinion. Like, I don't think you have the right to tell me who, unless they a murderer or, you know, or pedophile, things of that nature, and it's to literally protect me, for sure, you know, or they're abusive to me and stuff like that nature. Absolutely remove that person. But I think at a certain age, you should allow me to seek those answers myself, and not just feel like, you know, it's what you said. I am 28. I'm not 18. I'm not 8. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grown adult, and I can make my own decisions. You know what I'm saying? If I choose to surround myself with someone that's not the greatest person on earth, then let that be my decision and my consequences to live with. But also the way they treat you, they may not treat me. You know, not saying that they, you know, are a changed person. Sometimes people do change. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people do, you know, the 23-year-old version of this man that kind of broke your heart may not be this 48 version. You know what I'm saying? And I think we have to forgive and stop holding grudges in our community. I think we hold grudges.
I think it also, we definitely hold grudges. And I think it also ties back to self-reflection, because the same way that somebody treats this person may not be the same way that they treat the other person, simply because that other person wasn't going for it.
Someone can bring out the worst in you. Oh, people can bring out the absolute worst in you. And then somebody can
also bring out the best.
Yeah, just like you see those fruit that mold, and it touching, you know, when you're too close to something, it will rot on you. You can be the purest strawberry there is, but when you attach yourself and get really close to the rotted one, you become rotted. And that's honestly that's my life, and that's why I had to realize, oh God, I am ugly. I am ugly. I need to do some work. Why am I acting this way? Why am I complaining about someone for doing this to me, and now I'm doing it to someone else? Hurt people, and then the pain you do not heal, you will transmit 100%.
You're ready to connect instead of breaking.
Before I got married, I saw a pastor, and he told me, and he asked me about my life, and he was like, I want to like tell you some things, and he was like, the pain you don't heal, you will transmit. And that to me was like, okay, you need to get in order. You need to make sure, because I love, well, at that time she was my girlfriend, but I loved my wife so much that like, I'm like, I don't want to hurt this person. I don't want to ever hurt this person. You know, not by my unhealed actions or whatever. So like when he told me like, the pain you don't heal, you transmit. Okay, you know, speed is healing up.
You're speaking. Oh my gosh!
Hold on now.
It's almost as if you speak for a living guy.
Yeah, but the sad thing about it, a lot of it you don't realize until you're back in those situations, or until you're back facing those challenges. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're alone and you're practicing isolation and those things, you don't have someone that's going to push those buttons, you know what I'm saying? Or redo something that may be a little closer to what you've experienced that would have triggered you. And so when you have someone, now you're like, oh shit, okay, how do I respond now? Okay, I feel triggered. But I can't up this and get the, you know, spazzing, because now you're going to think I'm crazy. You know? But, you know, so you have to kind of pay attention to those patterns and those behaviors, and like, okay, why am I yelling right now? I'm not someone who yells in an argument. Why am I now starting to yell? Why are my emotions being so provoked? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's not the person. It's the, like, one of my another favorite quotes is, are you healed or are you just avoiding your triggers? And I'm like, Well, excuse me, I thought I was healed. Okay. But honestly, if you ask yourself, am I healed or am I avoiding my triggers? And then you be faced by another trigger. Because sometimes we just avoid our triggers. We, because protecting our peace is isolating ourselves from those certain things that, trigger our peace. But it's like, damn, am I really healed? Right. And the only way to know is to kind of go through it again. Or not go through the exact same thing, but be re-injured by something from it. And you're like, oh, wait. How am I responding now? Right, I'm not angry. I'm not yelling. I'd be so proud of myself. Yeah. I'd be so proud. I'm like,
all right.
Look at you. Sharell. Look, she's just upset at you and you pull her to the side and have an adult conversation. Yeah. You didn't storm away. You didn't yell. You didn't scream. You didn't cry. Right. And sometimes we can show emotion, but sometimes I overreact. Yeah. I'm a drama queen. And so being able to
my girl dramatic. She loved it.
And I love that she would call me out, but in a respectful way that validates my feelings. Right, you know what I'm saying? She would tell me quick, like, baby, I think you're overthinking this. And she said it so calm, and it makes me want to rethink it. I'm like, dang. Right. But when you're with someone that's like, you're always thinking about yourself. Oh, everything's a problem. I'm like, now I'm offended and I'm defensive because now I have to defend my position and tell you why my emotions are valid. But when you're with someone that's like, you know what, babe, I understand what you're saying, but I do think you're overreacting.
Okay. I mean, you ate with that.
You might be right. You know what? And now I can come back a few minutes later, maybe a day later, depending on how heated I am, and say, babe, I want to apologize because I was overreacting. And I'm not apologizing because you told me I was overreacting, but I have to take a step back and do some reflection and realize, like, I was overreacting. That was not fair for me to put that on you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I told her a lot. I'm like, I'm sorry. That wasn't fair for me to do that. She probably tired. I'm like, that wasn't fair for me to do that to you. I realized that this is triggered to this. And I always tell her where it come from. Because I don't want to make an excuse for my actions. I don't want to sit here and say like, oh, well, you made me mad. Yeah. Or, oh, I only did this because of this. No, I'm sorry. I was triggered by this response because I've dealt with this. However, I did this. However, there is no excuse for it. But I do want to let you know why I did it. I'm holding myself accountable and I am going to change that action. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you do want to explain. And sometimes people, you owe them an explanation. You know what I'm saying? Like we always like to say, I'm not going to explain myself. Right. Sometimes you need to. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you need to give me some clarity because now I need to know if I want to have you in my circle or not. Like,
because confusion will cause offense.
Oh yeah,
you get what I mean. And then you got somebody that's hurt, and you don't even know what happened, what triggered them.
Yeah, you're like, wait, what happened?
What you mean I did that? You get what I'm saying? So, going into the Tap Internet segment, obviously we were already, talk about the inner workings. The intranet is the internal network on the tech side. So as it relates to the podcast, obviously it's our internal. It's after we've experienced the internet, after we took some time to process. Now it's landed. Now it's created some habits in us. Whether those habits are good or bad, whether they're here to help us or hurt us, we shall find out. You know what I mean? So first question I have for you is, how did hitting the reset button change you internally? Did you feel more aligned with your true self?
Oh yeah. Okay. 100%. I feel like, honestly, it was almost like, and I feel like it's so, I hate cliche, but it was like a weight lift off my shoulders. Okay. It was like, I felt like I could breathe, and it felt like I was breathing different air. Wow. And it's so weird to say, because I feel like, oh my goodness, such a cliche. A weight off your shoulders. Okay, sure. What does that mean? Yeah. But for me, like, honestly, like, and when I have like things like that happen to me, I get emotionally overwhelmed. I cry. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know, I cry out of reflection though. Yeah. So it's like, oh wow, I can breathe. And like, being able to breathe to me is so overwhelming sometimes. Yeah. Well, at that point in my time, it was so overwhelming because I felt like for so long I was suffocated. Wow. And so like, I was just like, oh wow. And I started to find myself in the line with what I would like. Like, I'm like, oh, I actually don't like when I do this. Right. Or I don't like eating this, but I know I ate this because I was in this situation where this person liked to eat this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, I actually like to work out. I like to read. I like to like focus on my education. But when you're in a situation for so long that's about someone else and you make it about that person, you know what I'm saying? You forget who you are and you lose your own identity. And so for me, it was honestly a breath of fresh air. It was like a weight lift off my shoulders. And I was able to just kind of find myself again. And like, it was nice. It was definitely a discovery. And it was amazing for me. Like, it was like, oh, it was fun. Right. It's like, oh, it's getting to know someone new. You know what I'm saying? But it was isolation, so it was myself. But it was like amazing at the same time. It's like, oh wow, girl, look at you. Like, it was like, oh, we do like this. And it was trial and error because I had to figure out what we like. You know what I'm saying? The people we wanted to be around with, associated with. You know, it was definitely a discovery for sure.
In that discovery, we're gonna lean in a little bit more on that. Okay, to which you're comfortable, what are some of the key discoveries that you're most proud of?
full transparency.
Yeah.
Censored. I was proud to realize that I was not a 304. I was outside. I'm not gonna lie. I was outside, and to me, I'm someone who, when I was hurt and went through my situation, I was like, I'd never want to love again. Yeah. I was someone that was turned off by it. I'm like, if this person could betray me in such a level, I don't ever want to let no one get that close to me. I was shutting down. I was shutting down in that department, and I was outside. And kind of, I thought, like, at first it was exciting, all the attention. I'm not gonna say it was exciting. It was overwhelming, but it was also excitement in it or whatever. It was overwhelming because, girl, you would never know how many people was waiting. I'm like, God,
at the door with the light on.
Listen, first of all, how y'all see the ring is off? I just took the ring off. But like, so that part was overwhelming for me. But honestly, I played the field and kind of, I realized it was exciting. And then I realized, like, this is not who you are. You actually are someone who wants to be a wife. And I'm like, oh. So you ain't mean nothing you saying when you say F this and F that, never love them again. And so honestly, like, cause out there I had 3 or 4 friends, you know, and we had fun. We had a time, but I had to realize I'm not like y'all. And then when they were telling me their stories, I realized I wasn't that big of a 3 or 4 as I thought. I'm like, you did what?
For a moment of clarity,
you know,
grab a calculator and type 304. Turn it upside down. Turn it around.
I couldn't say what the word was.
No, I'm just saying.
They probably picking up when I'm.
They picking up what you're putting down. Outside.
Yeah, I know what I was saying.
Get a calculator. Type in 304. Turn it upside down and flip it.
But so I think to me, like, you know, I think tying that to honestly hope. I had hope again, you know, because you got to understand everything's linked to something. So even though I saw this like outside playing and whatever, I knew I had lost hope. I had lost hope for love. I had lost hope. And me, I'm someone, I want the kid. I want the fence, white picket fence. I want the dog. I wanted it. At that point, I wanted it, but I had it and I ain't like it. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe that ain't what you want. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. But I realized I didn't have it with the right person. Because now I can't wait to get it. I'm like, Sharell, slow down. Calm down. You just met her yesterday.
You said a mouthful then.
But so for me, just kind of realizing that I had hope again, you know, it was like, oh, you know what? This isn't exciting. You know, these people that you're doing these things with isn't fulfilling. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you're not liking the consequences and repercussions that come behind it. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I was happy to figure that out by myself because I was set that, hey, these were not in my cards. I would never get married again. Like, girl, just get married after 9 months of knowing. I'm like, what? Hold on, we dated for 9 months and so to me it was crazy though. It was crazy because I thought I literally swore off her, and even when we met, she wasn't looking for marriage, and I was not either. Like, she was like, hey, I'm busy. My life is this. I'm like, girl, you don't want to hear what my life is. And so honestly, just kind of finding that hope and just knowing in that discovery that, you know what, the person that you're portraying to be is a defense mechanism, and you're actually guarding yourself and you're protecting yourself. Well, you see it as protection. Right. But I think I was happy when I figured it out, for sure. Like, I was very pleased with myself because I was not in the right direction. I was not heading in the right direction. Obviously, it took me to step back and realize I wasn't heading in the right direction. But to me, it felt like the right direction at the time. Yeah, this is what you do. You know, you go outside, you meet people, and you have a good time. You drink until you're blackout drunk, and then you do it all again. Do it all again every weekend. Till
it's fitting.
And then I realized, like, I was doing it to bypass the time and the pain. And honestly, nothing was helping the pain but therapy and God. You know, so I had to realize I needed both. You know, I mean, well, first of all, I needed God more than anything. But the work was done.
He don't need no help.
He do not. The work was done in therapy for myself. You know what I'm saying? And so I needed him, and he had me go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, okay, you need to see these things. You know, you need a reflection. And to me, therapy was my reflection. You know what I'm saying? It was putting that mirror up and telling me these things because they were telling me things that I would not have believed, you know, had a friend told me, you know what I'm saying, or had my mom told me, or, you know, because we don't listen to those people closest to us, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't listen to my therapist. I'd be like, you
got to be ready to hear it.
You have to be ready.
It don't matter who it's coming from.
You have to be ready to act on it too. You have to be ready to act on it. You know what I'm saying?
Because learning is just knowledge.
And I think sometimes we think that our family members have a biased opinion. And I feel like, for me, okay, my family's going to tell me this because, they didn't want me in that situation, or they didn't feel like this. So for me, when it came to like letting that child go, I felt like my family was just saying things because it's like, what, we've never seen it done before. Okay, well, this will be the first. But they were right about the situation. But I just wasn't ready, and I needed me, I need a completely outside perspective, and that's what that therapist was for me.
Okay, and you can state your opinion, and you can still stay firm in your opinion, but you can also be attentive enough to realize, okay, they ain't ready to hear it. You know what I mean? So we just gotta be mindful. Now, I did want to ask, because you said you wanted you want the dog, the house, the white picket fence. Do you think your desire to have that so much caused you to overlook a lot of indications before everything kind of blew off?
1000%. Yeah. I am self-aware enough to know that I was creating a life that, be harsh, that person was not deserving of having, to be honest.
Gotcha.
The house was mine. Yeah. They tried to take it though.
Right.
Good luck. But I went to therapy behind that. My therapist told me you can't have emotional ties to materialistic things. I'm like, you're absolutely right about that. Have the house. They couldn't afford it, but that's a different story. Right. But yeah, I realized that I was giving them a life that I had vision for myself. Right. They were not deserving of it, if I'm being 100% transparent. Yeah. Because I was creating, I was building. Yeah. And I was giving it to them because they were my partner. Right. The whole time I was their partner, but they wasn't mine, to be honest. So I had to realize I was so overshadowed by what I wanted in life that I wasn't realizing that wasn't my timing and that wasn't my person to have those things with. And so now, honestly, I'm just trusting God. I'm not even planning. And girl, I was a planner. I would plan my life from A to Z. Now I'm just like, God have his way. And when he's ready for me to have a kid, when he's ready for me to, have kids and have the house and all that, he will let it be known for sure. And it ain't gonna be no way around it. And so now I'm just sitting back and I'm gonna let it come to me, because I know for a fact that I would have it if it's his will.
I would tell people, I'm like, before I, started my faith walk, I would tell people, I like to plan things out. And they're like, you're a type A person. And I never, not necessarily big on labels, just like, if God didn't call me that, I'm not that.
I ain't gonna answer to it.
I ain't gonna answer none of that. What you talking about? Type A.
Right.
A, B, C, D is 27 on,
right.
So when I got to the point, when I did my soul searching and everything like that, and I didn't go to therapy, I ask God, reveal to me little by little, so I don't lose my mind, but reveal to me what I need to work on, right? So it came to the point, I feel like a lot of type A, just speaking for me, being that they're like, oh, you type A, people that plan or overplan and everything like that, I feel like it's rooted in having control. So my main thing was, why do I feel the need to have control, Lord? And that's when he was like, oh, this happened when you were a child.
He's feeding that little bit of the lack of control you didn't have growing up. And it's most likely stemmed to something you did not have growing up. For sure. So now you want as an adult. Like, you didn't control this. You didn't have a say so in this. You know what I'm saying? And so now you want.
Yeah. Mine was definitely just childhood incestual, the hunching and all that stuff like that. It's just a matter of, it was rooted in that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
you wasn't in control of the situation. Or you didn't feel in control of the situation.
And get granted. And so the control stemmed from, oh, you got to keep this a secret. So now I have to make sure that the appearance is this or the appearance is that. You get what I'm saying? To make sure that nobody sees it, because they said if I tell this or tell that, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
Right? So
you had no control in that situation.
Right, no control. Yeah. Right. So growing up, unbeknownst to me, because I wasn't taking the time, I was partying. I don't care. I'm fine. I'm this, I'm that.
Right.
I'm not paying attention to all these aspects. Even when we're in those situations where we feel like, oh, I need to do this or I need to do that, I need to do all these things, we need to take a deeper look, because it's a reason why we do, because we're actually supposed to be fully dependent on God. We're not supposed to have any concern.
The why is so heavy though. When you figure out why, you be like, you be shook. Oh, you be so shook. Yes. Like there's been times I was all the way in the mic.
No, you good.
But there's been so many times where I figured out the why, and it was like, honestly, sometimes I laid in bed sobbing.
Right.
I'm like, oh shoot, at the discovery. You know what I'm saying? Like, not because I feel bad, but dang, like this guy did.
That's crazy.
Like, God, I was just, hee ha ha, and now I'm sad, and
I love the why.
Can't even breathe. It's not running down your nose.
I love the why.
The why is crazy. Like, don't do the work. if you ain't ready to get the why. You know what I'm saying? Don't do the work if you ain't ready.
Because you're going to figure that out first. You got to find that out first before you can even do the work. You have to ask the question.
I think that's important though, because now you can control your responses. You know what I'm saying? You can control the way you respond to something, you know? And to me, that's so important because you can't never take away the past. You can't take away what molded you into become the person you are becoming, but you can control your response to your triggers. You know what I'm saying? Now you don't have to yell. You don't have to, you know, do all these things that people do when they get upset. Some people, you know, become abusive. Some people, you know, punch holes in walls and storm away. And not when you can understand why you're doing something, you can control your output.
Emotions. You actually become
your output is so important.
Intelligent. Yeah, for sure.
Your output
because it's not what comes. Because like God says, it's not what goes into a man that causes him to sin, and what comes out of it. So it's how that tells me it's my responsibility to control my actions.
Yeah, output is definitely controlled by your input.
Oh, for sure.
What you have inside will come out for sure. So if you have nothing but hate and anger in you, it will be projected in everything you do.
Yes. So,
but girl, we going to deep.
We
giving them too much. We giving them too much. Did they subscribe first? Did they
ask them again?
Did y'all subscribe first? Because they can't get this for free.
So y'all don't want to support. 2 seconds to hit a bell. Ding.
Girl, don't be giving all this.
How that sound like?
Subscribe. Comment down below too.
Come on.
If she don't advocate for it, I will.
My girl. So we went into the second question for real. So what was the most rewarding part of going through a reset in your life?
Honestly, my relationship with God.
Wow.
That was the most rewarding part because now it's something that nobody can take.
Same.
You can take the house.
Woo!
You can take the kid. You can take the dog. You know what I'm saying? But you cannot take what's in me. You know what I'm saying? You cannot take. And so now, honestly, I feel like now it ain't nothing I can't face. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, you know what? I got the armor I need, which is Jesus. And I'm not trying to make this a spiritual, you know, podcast or nothing like that. But it's like, to me, the most rewarding thing was my relationship. Getting that back with him and now getting into a place where can't nobody take it.
Man,
what? Like, can't nobody take it? Like, my wife know that is the utmost important priority to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I go, I'm gonna go to Bible study. She's like, oh, I'll listen with you. You know what I'm saying? Well, she don't have to, but she know it's important to me. And she know that, hey, ain't nothing coming between that.
Come on now.
Hey, like, even if we're doing something, my alarm went off. I gotta log in. Gotta go. Literally, we were having a deep conversation when Bible study happened this week. And I was like, she's like, oh, yeah, let's log in together. You're like, you know, I'm letting you know, like, I'm sorry that we gotta cut this conversation short. We can revisit this. For sure. You know what I'm saying? But now it's my time with him. And so,
prioritize.
Like, 100%.
Seek
100%.
First the kingdom of heaven. Everything else 100%. Will be added to you.
He's gonna give you.
Look,
like as long as you priority, presence, his presence, your priority, you're good. You're good. And I think honestly, if you ask yourself, is he a priority in my life? You can kind of figure out why your life is headed in the direction it's in.
It's now, you know, I listen to gospel rap. You know, I love a good bop. You know about me. Y'all want to follow. Yeah. So it's a verse by Jay Monty, and I think it's on Solar System. His song Solar System. He said, y'all don't talk about the crucifixion. Now you out here wondering why your crucifixion. I said, oh, he's speaking.
Oh, dang, that got deep.
Look.
Wait, what's his name?
Talk about a lyricist.
Jay Monty?
Jay Monty.
Monty.
Yeah, just the letter J.
In the streets. I said Jay Monty.
No, for real. But he used to be a secular artist, and then so now he's a
Jay Monty. I'm gonna have to look him up.
All of them.
But for real, like if you ask yourself that,
look,
and you're like, oh, why am I in this situation? Why do I feel like all these people are out to get me? Why do I feel like my friend group is not aligned? Why do I feel like I'm suffering from this?
Look. God,
I'm pretty sure it goes back to him not being a priority in your life. And once he's a priority in your life, everything's gonna work out. Everything you go through is you're gonna have so much peace with it. You're gonna go through the darkest storms and you're gonna have so much peace. You're gonna have so much peace. Like me, I recently witnessed a near-death experience and I was so calm in it. Now, after my body started shaking, but I knew I was gonna survive the incident, which is so crazy. Girl, my car hydroplaned swirled 6 times. I ended up in a ditch. And the whole time, I was calm. And I couldn't believe I was calm. Jeez. And I tried to when I tried to get myself out the ditch, my legs started shaking. And I realized my body was more nervous than I was, which is crazy. I'm like, oh, okay, I am scared, But I was so peaceful. I was so at peace. Like, it was a scary situation. It was like, literally, I was driving late night and it just kind of started raining out of nowhere. Yeah. Like, it was clear skies and then it was a downpour. Yeah. My car was in cruise control, which is the worst thing that you can do in rain, but it wasn't raining where I was at. And so I literally moved my hand to take it out of cruise. It was too late. And me being silly, the first thing I'm doing is slamming on brakes, which you're not supposed to do, but you're going to fight a flight whenever you're in any situation like that. My car spun around 6 times. I knew I was gone. Right. And it just went in the ditch and I was just, they're so calm. I had no emotional ties to the car I was in. I was just
and
I feel at peace.
Look, what I love about that is you're going to have a reaction. Mm-hmm. But you still it still doesn't take away the peace. Your body reacted.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh, girl, my leg was shaking like a salt shake. I mean, wait, we ain't singing that no more. Sometimes
shake like a salt shake.
Sometimes, yeah, you can. Sometimes, okay.
Because I still do. You know they spin the block.
Hey, I said I be becoming that. It's out there.
Oh, but yeah, I'm the same person. But just Christ-like.
That part. But my leg was just shaking, and that's when I had to realize, oh, I'm sad, I'm scared, and all this. But I did not feel those emotions. I was so peaceful in that situation. When I tell you, and now I know that if he was not a priority in my life, I would have freaked out and cried, sobbing, trying to gear and all that. I was just I don't know. It was just such a peaceful time, And even when I was there, the police officers were so peaceful. And mind you, I was scared of police officers. I still am, because you never know. And at that time I was traveling, so I don't even know this area. I'm like, whoa. They weren't the same, complexion to me. So I'm, in my head, I'm like, but I don't know. I just felt so at peace with it. And it was like, oh, are you okay? Da, da, da. They could have been a-holes. Yeah. They could be like, damn, have you been drinking? Right. Or immediately. Because that's how they are. Honestly, no, dude, my car hydroplaned. The rain, but they were so nice. Yeah. They sat and waited with me until the tow truck came. Insurance company couldn't get a tow truck there. They was like, hey, we'll call one for you. Right. It was just, I don't know. It was just, to me, a moment where I realized that, it works out when he's the priority of your life. It really, truly works out. When I tell you he spared my life and my vehicle and just my mental well-being, you know what I'm saying? Because it could have, definitely, car could have been gone for sure. And the crazy thing about it, right after my car landed in the ditch, 18-wheeler literally came right behind me.
And guess what?
And if it had been a split second,
for your good.
If it would have been a split second more,
it would have been 10 times.
It would have been done. Me and 18-wheeler would have been gone. And so I knew it was nobody but God. Literally, the moment I landed in the ditch, zoom, just flying by me, an 18-wheeler. And I'm like, and my car spun 6 times out of control. So it wasn't even like the 18-wheeler could have done anything. Because I'm in all the lanes at this point. You know what I'm saying? You can't even swerve around me, because baby, I'm coming in your lane. This one. And I just thought it was so crazy that I was the only car on that road at that time when that happened. I knew it was nobody but God.
I knew it wasn't. Just to answer a prayer, because I told God, one of the prayers that I prayed this year was, Lord, I have faith, but I believe it can be stronger. Oh yeah. Strengthen my faith, strengthen my trust in you, and all the answers. So I have no doubt. Yeah. And I have no concern. Even if I'm put in a situation, he got it.
I need to do that one. I like that.
He got it.
In my face. I like that. Yeah. I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna let you know now. I might walk out of here saying it.
Look at this. And guess what? It takes us into our next segment, which is the Take Control segment. It's a play on the functions on the keyboard. So as you know, Control A highlights everything. So as it relates to the episode, what highlights stood out to you the most from our conversation?
What highlights stood out the most? Oh goodness, this is a hard one. The most, I honestly would say the mutual connection of the faith. Honestly, just kind of, I think for us, we were definitely there as private specialists, in the military, and just kind of, we were at 18, 19, 20 years old at the time. And so kind of to see the mutual evolution and the mutual understanding of, hey, this is my father, this is my presence, this is my priority to me. Honestly, I think it's important to kind of see that within people, especially that people that you kind of grew up and saw. I think that's important. So I definitely like just being able to come in a atmosphere like this and you be so welcoming and so understanding of certain things. So to me, that's my highlight. It's not what we said, is the aura in the room, the environment, for sure.
I love that. We try to make it, you know what I mean, bond, like, and I know a lot of people come in like, oh, I ain't trying to be too religious. I'm like, listen, the reason I chose this image is really and truly just to reflect. It's not to create a presence of it's religion, or we only got to talk about this. It was just a declarative of my faith and not my understanding that I know I don't do anything without Christ, which is why I wanted him to, and he gave me everything as it relates to the podcast. So I'm like, why would I not profess him? You get me, and label him all over this thing, because this is, you know, so like he know what I would have done.
And that's the problem with people when they get to a certain level in life, they forget who gave it to them. Yeah. And sometimes he take it. Ooh. He take it when you're not doing right by it and by him. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's important that you did, you know, decide to lead with that. Like, hey, this is the person who gave me this. I know I'm going to proceed, you know, with him as my top priority, and you know, his presence will be felt. And I definitely feel like, you know, he's proud of you for sure.
Yeah. So I love that you can really, like, you know, acknowledge the faith, and I can definitely say to you, like, even, you know, we had our conversations. I think I prayed after one of our phone calls. I'm like, Lord, I'm just excited to watch your relationship with him grow. Yeah. And I'm like, I was in awe. I was like, Lord,
that means so much. It's honestly so important. I think that's the best compliment someone can give you is, I pray for you. You know what I'm saying? Yes. That hits different. Because not, oh, you look beautiful. Oh, you're doing so you know good where the prayer's going. Yeah. Like, oh, you did so good. Like, no, I pray after this conversation. It's like,
I literally, like, I was so excited. So I'm still excited just watching you, and I can hear
I'm excited. In your voice. I definitely know where it's headed. I know where it's headed, and I'm excited for it. I am, and I'm patient to it. Yeah. And I think that's one thing I had to learn, patience. You know, I am very much humble and patient, and I am very servant to him. You know what I'm saying? And I have to be obedient and listen to him, because I used to not be obedient. I'm like, okay, give me another sign. You know, I don't like that. I ain't hear that one. You know, but now I'm obedient. I'm listening, and I'm like, okay. And I tell him all the time, like, you know, strengthen me as a person, make me more disciplined, you know what I'm saying? And make me come to you before anyone else, you know? And I always tell him, like, help me keep you as my priority in my presence. Because sometimes we get so distracted by life, and it's so easy to forget who should be your priority and
who created it,
the first person in your life. So now I, like, make sure I wake up and I'm like, God. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when the situation happened, I was like, God. And literally, like, I don't know if I said out loud when that near-death experience happened, or if I literally said in my head, but I know the first word that ever came in my mouth was God.
Thank you.
God. Jesus. And I didn't even say thank you. I didn't say nothing. I was like, God. Because I knew he was present. Like, I felt his presence. And it's so weird. And it's crazy because I grew up kind of seeing people talk about stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean you felt? You heard? Like, what do you mean you heard him say that? Like, this man ain't nobody ever said they saw, like, but now, like, being an adult and being mature and, like, having a relationship with him, like, literally you can see it. Yeah. Oh, he did say that to you? Girl, he said that to me too. Wait, is he telling us the same thing? Look. Is he telling us both to get our life in order?
It's so beautiful.
You know, it's amazing.
Learn him for yourself. Build your own. It's about relationship. It ain't about religion. We're not statues. We're not robots. God made us full of life, full of energy, full of, you know, like to have fun. You can still have fun, do all that stuff. It's just about relationship. Learn him from yourself. Stop taking other people's perspective, opinions, how they thwart the word. And
hey, they stopped drinking, so I gotta stop drinking. Like, they like, honestly, like, your relationship is your relationship, and your walk is your walk, and God is gonna put it on your heart when He's ready for you. And I think that's something I had to learn, like, because I was like, okay, I need to stop this, I need to stop that, I need to stop that, and I had to realize, like, God, like, that's not what you, you know, that's not what you wanted from me. You want me to get closer with you, and with that comes me cutting everything else off. I don't have to sit here because I'm someone. I'm like, okay, this is it. Today's the day. We're gonna start the diet. And it's like, you know, you have to realize, like, you know, everything's progressional, you know, and you're going to get there, and it's not going to be forced. Because when you force it, you kind of can go back to it, you know, because you're going to have withdrawals. And you're like, oh, why did I do that? It wasn't. But when it's something you truly want to do and He truly placed on your heart, it ain't going to be no doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? You literally ain't no amount of peer pressure going to make you do nothing.
Literally.
You know, you're like, no, I said no, thank you.
I literally, because for me, like, even when I came to Christ, I was still going out partying. I would still drink and everything. Like, it took God to take the taste out of my mouth. I can sit in a room and people got to understand it's your level of conviction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm convicted on this, but I am not going to project this onto you. Oh, just because I'm convicted,
why are you drinking?
Right. And but I don't know if you can, but I have a fairly good understanding of when people feel convicted, and it's a direct outburst of, oh, you judging me. I didn't even say anything.
Right.
I'm literally just sitting here. Like, I didn't say anything. But it's a projection.
I think our community do judge though. And I think it's hard for people to see when you're not judging them. And I think, honestly, I think that deter people from Christ. And I think that deter people from having, I'm not gonna say from Christ themselves, but I think from having a relationship with people who follow Christ. Because, oh, this person thinks this way, or they're gonna see me this way. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna have this to say, they're gonna have that to say. Because a lot of times we do. You know what I'm saying? But we as Christians be like, oh, okay. Oh yeah, she knows she was wrong for going out.
It is some judgment, but I also think not only do certain Christians judge, but I also think there's a lot of people that don't know the difference between judgment and correction. You get what I'm saying? Because if I'm correcting you and you don't like what I'm saying, now I'm automatically judging you, and I'm like, even if I'm coming to you in love, you feel like I'm judging you. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm just. Yeah. I know you're better than that, but you judging me. No, I've seen you do better before. And me with that recollection of you, like, I love you enough, like, you're better than that. I'm not going to let you sit in that.
Yeah. Sometimes the person not ready. Exactly. Sometimes they're not ready. And sometimes it can also be on our approach. Yeah. How did I handle this situation? Because I have to realize that, and I learned this through like having soldiers, like the way I handle one person is the same I can handle somebody else. I can tell somebody drop down some push-ups right now because you pissed me off. Right. You messed some water up. You know what I'm saying? But someone else I have to sit here and say, hey babe, listen. Well, not babe, because I can't call no soldiers babe. No friendization over here. But hey, you know, you did X, Y, and Z on this. Why is this? You know what I'm saying? And they will respond better. But somebody over here, you know, they need to be pushing and explain it to me, because that's how I get through to them. You know what I'm saying? And so I think also, like, just people, like, the season that they are in their life, sometimes people can't handle that. Hey, no, you messed up. You need to fix this. Sometimes you have to be gentle. You know? Or sometimes you just don't say that at all because they ain't ready. Sometimes they're just not ready.
Use wisdom.
They're not ready. And so it's just like, you know what? That's why I kind of wait. I wait till people come to me sometimes, or I'll kind of lead with a compliment. Like I told you with the girl, I'd be like, hey, you know what? I pray that, you know, you get through this and X, Y, and Z. And once I find that opening, that window, and I feel like someone's open to my input, that's when I'll give it. But if I feel like you're not open to it, I'm not going to do that. If you just heart the message or say, thank you, I need to hear this or something like that, I'm like, okay, cool. But if you give me like emotional response that like kind of is more deep or whatever, then I'm inclined to actually give you advice. But if you don't ask for it, I'm not going to give it. It's because I need you to be ready. You know what I'm saying? Real.
So Control-C allows you to copy whatever you've highlighted on the computer, right? So as it relates to the episode, what quotes or insights are you taking with you?
Oh my goodness.
We said a lot of good ones.
Oh. So I'm going to go back to that song quote. Okay. I like oh my goodness, Jay
Monty. Y'all don't talk about the crucifixion.
It was about the conviction.
Which one?
The one you just said.
Oh, the difference between judgment and correction?
No. The Jay Monty, you said.
Y'all don't talk about the crucifixion, so yet you out here wondering why your crucifixion.
Oh, I said conviction. Yeah, crucifixion. Yeah, that one. I also, honestly, it's been so many. Oh my goodness.
We dropped some gems.
Oh my goodness, it's been so many.
So that means y'all drop a like and a comment and a subscription.
That part. Now. I'm sorry. I said that I was patient.
She is an NCO turned LT officer. Listen.
I'm sorry, y'all.
She got it in her.
When y'all ready. But now.
She could give him a good knife hand
you know,
in that camera.
Preferably.
It would behoove you.
It's highly recommended that you attend. So I gotta be there. Just say that. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be there. Okay.
I gotta be there.
It's highly recommended that you like, comment, and subscribe.
Just say that.
Time now. Time now.
Mandatory fun. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah.
But no, yeah, I definitely like that one. Oof. Oh my goodness. I feel like once I walk out of here and I reflect back, all of them are gonna come back. But that's the one I got right now.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So Control-V obviously allows you to paste whatever you copied. So what will you be applying to your life moving forward?
I want to get into gospel rap.
Okay.
I used to be biased towards it, honestly.
Really?
But now I think about the rap I listen to, I'm like, baby, you probably better off listening to gospel rap than this.
Oh,
you know? And so I used to be like, I grew up in a church and I was little. And so when I grew up in the church and I had this certain idea of gospel and what the gospel was. Right. And so when I started hearing gospel rap, I'm like, what is this? And I thought about, I'm like, this is diabolical. Yeah. Like, new ages, we don't take anything serious, you know? And I had that mindset, but like kind of when you hear the lyrics, because I've kind of watched some videos and I've listened to it, but I'm just like, no, it's not me. But I'm kind of realizing that that's probably the direction I want to head in. Like, just kind of getting that, because honestly, I still listen to rap and hip hop and all that. So it's like, why not listen to it in a more positive light as well? You know, because I love a good beat. I love a good beat, you know. And so I think like, I definitely want to, I'm going to steal that from you for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with gospel rap, my sister got me into it, and then that's when I picked up on it, because like you, I love music, and I'm always singing something, all the lyrics. So I still listen to some secular songs, but I think I've kind of tempered it, because a lot of that new stuff, I don't know what y'all putting out. I can't, and there's certain tones I can't listen to. So I probably I reserve it for like R&B and Southern soul and stuff like that. So that's what I listen to when I'm listening in the secular space. But for my gospel rap,
I'm gonna try it.
I'm gonna try it. Jay Monty, the Caleb Gordon.
I'm gonna try him.
The Nobles.
Okay, you gonna have to send me some, because now you're just dropping too many. Listen, and I'm gonna forget. You just send me a few. Send me your top 3. Send me your top 3. But different artists
top
though.
3?
Yeah.
Top 10.
We're gonna go with 5.
Ooh, okay, I could try to shrink it.
Because if you give me 10, I ain't gonna listen to them all.
Yes, you will. Okay. Because what I'm gonna send you is the song.
Okay, it's gonna be good.
Just click the song.
Okay. All right.
Click the song.
All right. Okay, that's the deal.
What you want first?
I want to hear Jay Monty. I want to hear that song that you mentioned.
So all Jay Monty is good, but I'm gonna send you Solar System.
Okay. Solar System. Okay.
Solar System. Oh, I was about to sing a little bit. It's in my head now. All right. Goodness gracious, you guys. This episode has been deep. It's been heavy. It's been informative, full of gems. You guys do not forget to like, share, comment, all that good stuff. We went over, we went over. Is this my show? Because I'm over here advocating. Girl, calm down. Come on. Act like it. Calm down. You ain't here for no reason. Do what you do. But y'all, we've covered so much. We covered the healing process. We covered just overcoming, becoming, placing Christ as a priority. What else?
Oh, wow.
So much.
Everything. Honestly,
I know.
Honestly. Just, I think the biggest thing was like the evolution. Like the kind of, I guess the roller coaster ride it's been, but like the rewarding aspect of it. And the good, great, amazing part of this episode, Sharell, you are our closing episode, our very last. We love that. For season 1. So it means you gotta go to season 2. You gotta stay tuned. So you know what? This is gonna definitely be a great one to make sure you come back.
Yes. And I got something after for you. You know what I mean? Slide you something. Okay. I got you. So what I'm going to do is you are the lucky winner, because you are our last episode of this season. So
not me.
Yes.
You shouldn't have.
I'm going to choose, people can guess, follow along and guess. But every season I'm going to choose like one episode where I have a guest, and like it'll be random. Okay. And at my decision or everything like that. But I appreciate you so much. Thank you for even being a part of it. I know when I asked you, like, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. You know what I mean? I love 100%. It. 100%.
If I don't do nothing, I'm gonna support. I'm definitely big in like supporting friends and supporting like our community, because I feel like we don't do it enough. Right. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it sucks to see someone trying at something and the ones closest to them don't support. But you get a stranger, they support in 2 seconds. But person closest to you just like, oh, good girl, good job, girl. Oh, you sure you want to do that? Okay. So.
Yes, but that you were none of that. And I know I always can count on you. From the time that we met back in Fort Stewart days, even up until now, I've loved watching you grow. And
likewise.
Now, you know what I mean? And now that you're on your journey, I'm going to love even more just watching you grow in Christ, because with him, what we think we're going to do, we're going to do a whole lot more. You get what I'm saying? A whole lot more. So I'm excited to watch your journey. So I do have a couple of reflective questions, in closing.
Okay.
A couple of reflective questions for you. So what's one area of your life that you feel could benefit from a reset right now?
Work.
Okay.
Work. And I think almost, I would say this lead probably is a reset for me.
Okay.
But I think for me with work, with me being an officer and, being an African-American officer, it's only 8% of us in the military that's African-American. And I'm the only one in my unit that's a commissioned officer. Wow. I have one warrant officer, but it's not the same. We don't do the same work, right. Warrants are in the shadows. And so for me, there's a lot of places I'm in and a lot of rooms I'm in where I'm the only one there, which is amazing, right. But it's also like overpowering and overwhelming as well, because it's like, I'm representing for a masses of our community or whatever. And so with that, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on me a lot of times. And, whenever I'm told to do something, I feel like I have to outperform because of who I am and where I come from and the people that I'm representing. And sometimes because I'm overzealous, it becomes tiring on me and I take on too much. Yeah. And I don't realize when, like, hey, you took it on too much until it's like too late and I'm over here. Why am I the only one still at work?
Right.
And so I have to kind of sometimes pause and realize like you're okay, you're doing enough. You know what I'm saying? I think I have to reassure myself that you're enough. And I actually almost thought about putting my fear, because when you ask like, should I do fear or quote? Like, let me share my quote just because it tied with the episode. But one of my fears is getting enough. Well, basically achieving success but it not being enough.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And I have to realize sometimes like I kind of be heading in that direction because I'm like always feeling like I have to prove something that's already been proven. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely in me and not on me, but it's like I still feel like, because it's so many people that I'm representing for, and the little black girls will make sure you remember. Like every time I'm going through a gate and they salute me, let a black private be there. Oh, ma'am! They act like they seen a ghost, baby. This is just a lieutenant. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I remember how I was the first time I saw a black female lieutenant colonel. I didn't know they existed. Wow. And that's actually why I'm here today. Why I'm a commissioned officer. It literally got put on me when I saw her, because I didn't want to be an officer. I personally didn't. I wanted to be a warrant officer because I admired them. Right. So I think just taking a step back from work to me and just kind of realizing, regardless of what you're doing and who you're representing, you're still human and you still need to take that knee and you need to drink your water. Take a knee and drink water. You know what I'm saying? And so like for me, just kind of take a step back and realizing like you're where you need to be and you're going on the path you need to go on the path. Right. Stop overworking and bend over backwards, especially when you're you and they're them. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it still ain't going to be highlighted. Sometimes it's not going to be enough. At all. And so to me, I have to realize when it's enough for me. Right. And that's what I'm learning now.
What I would say to you about that, I guess, advice that I had to learn is that we can put ourselves in positions where we take on false burdens. And I know you're representing for the culture, but your presence is the representation. You get what I'm saying? Your actions is the representation. You accomplish it. Now you have your own goals, and in the midst of you accomplishing those goals, you're still going to make that impact as you go. You know what I mean? So like it's that. Like, you get what I'm saying? So don't add pressure on yourself, because I
definitely have.
You know what I mean? We're harder on ourselves than anybody can be. So don't add unnecessary pressure on yourself, because there's still people that's going to look up to you and be like, dang, if she did it, I could do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I feel like we'll get in a space where it's like, oh, dang. Now I'm living by the praises, because I'm like, okay, if one person, I'm like, now somebody else is doing it, and I got to make sure I'm on my P's and Q's. I'm this, that, the third, because they can't see me not at my peak. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah,
That's exactly how I feel right now.
Don't weigh yourself down. Don't take on that false burden.
I'm glad you said that, because it honestly is a false burden. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's something that we create within our mind that we feel like, because no one told me like, hey, I have to represent. Yeah, no one told me that. I created that within myself when I started to get certain responses from, and it was honestly it's been a lot of black Males as well, but the population has definitely been black females. And so like like every time I encounter them and they say certain things and they like, and even when I go in public with my uniform on, which is rarely, but it's always Walmart because Walmart right outside the gate and I be having to stop and get some stuff. And so, but it's always like someone who's like, I'm proud of you. Like civilians, sometimes they're ex-military and they're like, oh, keep going, ma'am, and all that stuff. And I'm just like, you know what if I'm tired though? You know what I'm saying? And you know, so I need to recognize that false burden that I put on myself just based on people's comments.
I encountered somebody who was like, everything I do for the culture. I'm like, these folks don't know you. And I'm not saying it in a selfish manner. It's just, it's a way because dang.
You gotta do it for you.
You gotta do it for you.
Internal.
Because then once you get there, you're not going to be satisfied. You get what I mean? So it's like, I did this because this is what I want to do. If somebody acknowledged it on the way up, cool. But at the end of this, I want to be like, dang, I set out to do something. God made it happen. We're here.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So yeah, don't weigh yourself down with false burdens and you just feel a lot lighter because now it's like, now I can look at it from the lens of, okay, this is what I want to do. Dang, I can take the time and be grateful because I accomplished it.
Right.
Like you setting out to become that commissioned officer, whether it's the only singular Black female commissioned officer in your unit, you set a goal out and you're really good at that. Like a beast. I mean, this girl, if she make up in her mind, this is what I want to do, she's going to do it. You're a beast at that. There's no further proof. There's no further proof that you need. And there's no, cause if you live by the praise, you're gonna die by the booze. There's no praise that you need. You did it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So don't take on no false burdens. Yeah. So how can you begin to implement changes that align more closely with your authentic self?
I would say, honestly, identifying who you are. Wow. Like, I think you have to identify it first. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't walk in if you don't identify it. If you don't know it, you don't know it. So I think identifying, like, what belongs to you and what belongs to your past. You know, what belongs to an experience you had. You know what I'm saying? Do you really like eating this way? Or did you do this because of, you know, this were the expectations of you? You know what I'm saying? Do you like dressing this way? Or did you do this because this was expected of you? Or this is what, you know, made you feel valued? Or, you know, is this something that you actually enjoy? So I think identifying what brings you joy and who you are as a person is very important. You know what I'm saying? You have to identify and understand, like, do I like going to the gym? You know what I'm saying? Do I like the results? Or am I doing it because everyone else is doing it? You know what I'm saying? Or am I doing it because this is what they say I need to do? You know what I'm saying? So identifying what's truly you. Right. You know?
Like what's your voice and not others.
Gotcha. Because it get real hard because society all look the same. You know what I'm saying? We all
and they do I want polluting the brain
right? Do I want the BBL or do I want it because society told me I need the BBL? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real about it. Like,
do some research now. You know, do your research.
A lot of it, enough of it. No shade, nothing against somebody who do it. But you know what I'm saying? You gotta understand, like, is that something you truly want for yourself? Is it because your husband looking at somebody with a BBL? You know what I'm saying? Or because society said to get a BBL, or you think you're gonna make more money? You know what I'm saying? But is that really internal what you want to do? You know what I'm saying? So I think just identify who you are, and even if it's not who you are, who you want to become, and how you get there. You know what I'm saying?
Beautiful. Oh, thank you again for coming. One last statement, I guess, for you to make, and you can make it directly into the camera.
A statement.
No, this is the question.
Okay.
You make a statement out.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you good. You good.
Let me get it together. Pay attention. I know better.
I mean, how it was worded probably was misleading. I apologize. So where can the people find, follow, or connect with you online?
Oof. You can find me on Instagram and Snapchat at reinventing_Rel.
Well, that is all for today, folks. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this episode with your friends if it's blessed you. You guys can follow the podcast at Insider Threat TV on all platforms. You guys can follow me at I'm Gravy. That is with 3 Y's on Instagram. And on that note, I say protect your peace, audit your code, and as always, logging off for now. Love you guys. Your web tip of the day is coming up next.